Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 2020 Honors and Awards presentation, the virtual edition. Dear SPE members, friends, acquaintances, colleagues, every year we get together to celebrate and recognize individuals who have made many very important individual contributions to the advancement of polymer science and plastics engineering. Also, we get together to recognize individuals who have dedicated many volunteer hours for the advancement of our society. We also get together to celebrate a society that has endured, thrived, and created many bonds among us. We get together to celebrate new beginnings, refresh our leadership, welcome the new leaders, and bid farewell to those who have served the society well. This year, as it was in 2020, it is unique. We are gathering in the microwaves of the world to continue traditions that were meant to take place in person. I can assure you that during the past 18 months, SPE has not missed a beat and has not continued to work relentlessly in the pursuit of our vision and mission. Before moving on with the program, I want to highlight the contributions of two members of the executive board who at the end of this ceremony are stepping off the board. First, my good friend Gustavo Liski, Vice President of Engineering at Arampacet, who served as Vice President at large. Gustavo, your strategic mind shined during your participations at the board. Your contributions showed why you oversee worldwide operations for your company. Gustavo was offered to continue as an appointed vice president by President-elect Lyons, but family circumstances have forced him to step down. In his 1 year on the board, Gustavo made significant contributions to the advancement of the Business Development and Technology Committee alongside Roger Avakian. We will miss you. SPE will miss you, Gustavo. I also want to thank Roger Avakian, who served as the BD&T Committee first chairman and who, with Gustavo, invested countless hours defining and directing the committee. Secondly, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to past President Dr. Brian Landis. Brian and I became acquainted through SPE many years back. He, Susie, and the friendship are one of the special gifts that SPE has given me during my years of service. Brian dedicated decades to SPE with many accomplishments to list. As a departing memento, I leave you with this mental picture. I remember Brian inaugurating Antec in Detroit with a pair of scissors that matched his height. And then I remember him inaugurated our new headquarters with a miniature pair of scissors that matched his ego. But what this pair of scissors have in common? Well, neither one of them worked. So Brian would just laugh like he's doing it right now about these incidents and made them both very special for all of us. Brian's connection in the industry were powerful and helped improve the stature of SPE with the stakeholder companies, particularly with Dow. Brian is a great listener and excels in mentoring others, a skill that was cultivated from many years of managing R&D people, AKA difficult people. That clearly showed in the way he would offer guidance and wisdom to others. Brian, I'm going to miss you in our board meetings this year, but I know you will be close by, like you are now, to continue our friendship. Please give Gustavo and Brian a round of applause. Thank you both indeed. Now I'd like to move.
Thank you, Jaime.
Sure. Would you like to say something, Gustavo and Brian? I should offer that. At least
I just can say thank you, you and for appointing me and giving me this opportunity. That I really enjoy this tremendous journey during the past year. Even though it was a bit strange, we couldn't see face to face, so I had the opportunity to meet a fantastic group. Virtually, I'm sure that will be even much better meeting them live which I hope will be in the near future. So thank you, and I really appreciate what you do every day for SPE. This is my main lesson. Okay,
Thanks,
so
Gustavo.
thank you, and please continue doing the way you do it today.
Thank you, Gustavo. Brian?
Yeah, thank you for those kind words, Jaime, and thank you to the board, very special people, to the staff, even more special people, and to all the members who put up with me when I would stand in front of you with those colored cards and ask you to do a lot of things, and you all stepped up. And that's what SPE does. SPE steps up. And I won't be going away like Gustavo. I'll still be there. I'll still be, looking for opportunities to help and volunteer, and I hope to see all of you around in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Gustavo. Again, I'd like to move now to the Fellows Awards ceremony. Fellows of the Society are honored for significant and impactful contributions in the field of plastics engineering, science, or technology, or in the management of such activities. Sponsored by an SPE division or a special interest group, candidates are selected based on their professional accomplishments, written sponsorship, and long-term status as a member of the Society. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the new Fellows of the Society. I will read each individual's bio and/or contributions, and they each will have 2 minutes to speak following my introduction. Dr. Umesh Gandhi, nominated by the Automotive Division. Dr. Umesh Gandhi works as an executive scientist at Toyota Research Institute North America, which is Toyota's core research division in the USA. He holds a PhD in mechanical engineering from the University of Michigan and has worked for over 30 years in the automotive industry. His current focus is on developing technology to reduce vehicle weight while improving the performance. He has developed multi-scale computational methods to model and analyze discontinued fiber-reinforced polymeric materials. He is also working on active polymers, which are key enablers in developing programmable structures. Dr. Gandhi has co-authored more than 60 publications, including a book on composites. In addition, he has been awarded more than 55 US patents. He serves as a board member of SPE's Automotive Division and is sponsored for this by the SPE Automotive Division. Please welcome Dr. Umesh Gandhi as a fellow of the Society. Dr. Gandhi.
Okay. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to share a few words. I would like to thank SPE for promoting me to the fellow grade. I'm very happy to join the esteemed small group of SPE fellows. I consider this a great honor and a moment of pride. I consider this promotion to fellowship as a recognition of my work and contributions. And particularly, I consider this as an encouragement to use the plastics to develop lightweight designs for mobility, because reducing weight is very important for the mobility industry. And as it improves the weight, we improve the fuel consumption, which in turn helps improve the environment. Now, I would like to thank Manny, who has helped me achieve this award. I'd like to thank the SPE Automotive Division for sponsoring me, in particularly Dr. Suresh Shah, who is a counselor at the Automotive Division, and he encouraged me to apply and also guided me through the process. I would also like to thank Norm Kakrala and Alpar Klitzas, who supported my applications and also helped me finish through the process. In addition, I would like to thank all the members of SPE divisions, SPE Automotive Division. It's a great environment, it's a very friendly people, and it's a great place where I can get the support for composites or plastics questions or challenges. Second, I'd like to thank my management at Toyota Research Institute North America. We have a great leadership, and we are highly encouraged to do innovations and bring creativity. And the most important, I would like to thank my colleagues at Toyota, my fellow research scientists, engineers, technicians, without whose help nothing can be achieved. I would also like to recognize the industry partners or collaborators. So we are researchers and we work closely with universities as well as suppliers. And there are many who has helped in this journey. But I would like to mention two most important. One is a Professor Tim Oswald at University of Wisconsin and Anthony Wang at Moldex. Basically, we worked as an informal team and we developed methods and know-how that would help design fiber reinforced polymer structures. And finally, the most important, I'd like to thank my wife, Kishori. It should be no surprise that when you work in a research field, your work hours are crazy and it's not always possible to manage the time. So I really appreciate her understanding and encouragement. With that, I would like to end saying thanks to SPE for the Fellow Award. Thank you.
Thank you, indeed, Dr. Gandhi, and congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to present to you Dr. Yushang Hu, nominated by the Engineering Properties and Structure Division. Yushang has worked for 15 years at Dow Packaging and Specialty Plastics in the area of polyolefin product and application development. He received a Bachelor of Science, Master of Science Polymer Chemistry at the Nankai University in Tianjin, China, and a PhD in Macromolecular Science at Case Western Reserve University. He has authored 33 articles and 27 conference papers, and is an inventor of 38 patents applications. His scientific contributions include developments of polyolefin materials for waterproofing membranes, Intune, trademark, olefin block copolymers for broad applications, and polyolefin fibers for textiles, and understanding of gas transport, crystallization, phase behavior, on compatibilization of polymeric materials. Please welcome Dr. Yushang Hu as a fellow of the society. Dr. Hu?
Yeah, thank you, Hemi, for the nice introduction. Yeah, I'm honored, to have been accepted as a fellow in the Society of Plastic Engineers. It is truly a great accomplishment to join the esteemed group who have helped to shape this wonderful industry, an industry that makes our life better. I'd like to thank SPE and Engineering Properties and Structure Division for bestowing such an honor and recognition. In particular, Huang Pham, the chair for the Society Awards Committee, Mark Spalding, the honored service member of SPE, and Babli Kapoor, the counselor of Engineering Properties and Structure Division. I'd also like to acknowledge many mentors and friends at Dow and outside Dow for mentorship and friendship over the years as I explore the wonders of polymers. Especially, I'd like to mention Eric Baer, Chris Makowsko, Rick King, Rajan Patel, and Barry Morris. Thank you for your inspiration, coaching, mentoring, and support. And this would not have happened without you. Thank you.
Thank you indeed, Dr. Hu. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeffrey Jansen, sponsored by the Injection Molding Division. Jeffrey Jansen is the engineering manager and a partner at the Madison Group, an independent plastics engineering and consulting firm. Jeff is a proven plastics professional with more than 30 years of experience solving problems and addressing opportunities related to polymeric materials, and has performed over 5,000 investigations. He specializes in failure analysis, material identification and selection, as well as compatibility, aging, and lifetime prediction studies, for thermoplastic materials. Jeff enjoys sharing his plastics knowledge and is a regular presenter on the SPE webinar series, covering a wide range of topics related to plastics failure, material performance, testing, and polymer technology. Jeff is a graduate of Carroll College and the Milwaukee School of Engineering. Please welcome Mr. Jeffrey Johnson as a fellow of the Society. Jeffrey?
Thank you very much. I'm really honored to receive this recognition as a fellow of the Society. I've been a member of SPE for 25 years, and through that time, I have benefited greatly from my membership through education as well as networking. I've learned so much that's impacted and been helpful in my career. I'm proud to be an active member and hopefully contribute in some way to SPE and further to the plastics industry. I would like to thank SPE and specifically the Injection Molding Division for giving me this opportunity to join this very esteemed group. Again, I'm humbled to be in the presence of these colleagues that have done so much. I would also like to extend special, deep appreciation to Tom Turdowsky and to Jeremy Dworshak from the Injection Molding Division for championing my nomination. Through the process, I actually learned a lot. I found that I was maybe wanting this a little bit too much, and Tom gave me some great insight that I found very, very valuable that I thought I'd pass along. As long as we are following our passion and doing our very best, we already earned something greater than the fellowship. Thank you again very much.
Thank you indeed, Jeff, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to present Mr. Mark Lavac, sponsored by the SPE Vinyl Division and the Palisades, New Jersey section. Mark Lavac is employed by Arkema Incorporated, where he manages their North American analytical group. Previously, he was responsible for their PVC additives technology group, developing acrylic modifiers and organolectine heat stabilizers. A holder of multiple U.S. patents, he has authored over 60 publications, presentations, and standards in the field of vinyl additive technology and plastics testing. A fellow of ASTM International, he chairs its D20 Committee on Plastics Developing Standards utilized by the plastics industry. Mark holds an MS in Engineering Science, Chemistry from the New Jersey Institute of Technology and serves on the boards of the SPE Vinyl Division and Palisades, New Jersey section. He is a two-time conference chair of SPE Vinyl Tech. Please welcome Mr. Mark Lavac as a fellow of the Society. Mark?
Thanks, Jaime. I hope everyone can hear me. I think I'm humbled to be in the presence of the honorees today and the honorees of the previous fellows. Obviously, I'd like to thank everyone who's had a hand in my career. One of my first memories of being in plastics and polymers was actually then Palisades section meeting. It was actually one of the first things I actually attended with the SPE some 30 years ago. And here I am today, the culmination of a very long journey. During that journey, I've seen the plastics industry grow in leaps and bounds. And it's because of the work that we've done, the work that my colleagues receiving the awards have done today. But I think there's another challenge for all of us as fellows. The plastics industry is, for me, at a crossroads. And it's up to us, it's up to the SPE to help lead the plastics industry through the next 10 years, which will be very, very challenging times for the plastics industry with all of the sustainability initiatives. But because of organizations like the SPE, the connections we make, the contacts we have, well, I think we'll be able to successfully network to meet the challenges of the future, and more importantly, to mentor the next generation of plastics engineers. And I really, really look forward to doing that. So thanks to the SPE for this recognition. Congratulations to all the recipients. And I look forward to my next 30 years in the plastics industry. I call myself a plastosaur now, which is a combination of an old plastics engineer and a dinosaur. But thanks to everyone. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Mark, and congratulations again. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. T.H. Lee, sponsored by the Applied Rheology Division. Dr. T.H. Lee is a chief research scientist at Formosa Plastics Corporation, Point Comfort, Texas. His career as a polymer scientist includes more than 20 years of experience in rheological characterization, structure property relationships, and product development of polyolefin material. He's a professional engineer with a Bachelor's of Engineering degree from Tianjin University, Master of Science from Chengdu University of Science and Technology, and a PhD from Yushang University. He holds 10 granted US patents, has published more than 20 peer-reviewed papers, and co-authored a book chapter on wood plastics rheology. Dr. Lee served as chair of SPE Applied Rheology Division between 2016 and 2019. Please welcome Dr. T.H. Lee as a fellow of the society. Dr. Lee?
Thank you, Hemi. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely honored to be elected as a fellow of SPE. Thank you, SPE, for confirming that my work is worthwhile. I dare not to take this award as the one for myself, though. Instead, this is considered an encouragement to all researchers who love polymer science while having to deal with all daily routines. I'm humbled receiving such a prestigious award. The Fellow of SPE Award has always been a motivation for me. Many earlier recipients have been my role model over the years. Just to name a few, Professor John Molacopolo of McMaster, and Dr. Yusung of Texas A&M. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all who have guided and helped me toward this award. Forgive me as the list can't be complete due to time limit. Formosa Plastic Corporation in Texas is my employer. Thank you so much for helping and guiding me as a family. Dr. Christopher Dobbin, my former colleague and mentor at Nova Chemicals, I'm deeply indebted to you in helping me out during my career as an extrusion scientist. Many thanks to all my past and present colleagues as well. Just to name a few here, Dr. Paul Tass, Mr. Wan Lin, Dr. Hong Lan Lu, and Dr. Zhu Tei, and Mr. Travel Trout. Many thanks to my colleagues and friends at the Applied Rheology Division of SPE in headquarters. Thank you so much, Dr. Wei Zhang, Dr. Donggang Yao, Dr. Martin Zatloka, Dr. Kurt Kopi, Dr. Manoj Kumar, Shalmo Fu, Dr. Qin Qian, Dr. Mary Krasinski, Dr. Kim, Mr. Tim Hawk, Mrs. Stephanie Bentley. Thank you so much also to Kathy. Without you, I won't be here. I would like also take this time to say thank you to Professor UT Sandra Drudge of Calgary and Professor Chris McCoskell. Over the years, your encouragement and guidance are important to me. Thank you all. It's a great pleasure to be here. I want to be with SPE to see the prosperity of the society and the industry as a general. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, and congratulations again. Last but not least, I'd like to introduce Professor Manju Misra, sponsored by the Injection Molding Division. Dr. Misra is a professor and Tier 1 Canada Research Chair in Sustainable Biocomposites in the School of Engineering, and is cross-appointed in the Department of Plant Agriculture at the University of Guelph in Canada. Dr. Misra's research focuses on novel bio-based plastic composites and nanocomposites from agricultural, forestry, and recycled resources for the sustainable bioeconomy moving towards circular economy. She has authored more than 700 publications, including over 400 peer-reviewed journal papers, 21 book chapters, and 5 edited books. Her research has received over 35,000 citations and numerous awards. She has contributed to over 50 patents and 5 licensed technologies with award-winning eco-friendly products currently in the market. She serves on the editorial boards of Journal of Applied Polymer Science, Composites Part A, Science and Manufacturing, Polymer Testing, Macromolecular Materials and Engineering, ACS Omega, and Composites Part C, Open Access. Please welcome Professor Misra as a fellow of the Society. Professor?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Jaime Gomez, for this honor. My greetings to all the 2021 SPE awardees, SPE staffs, and ladies and gentlemen. I am tremendously excited and deeply honored to be elected as one of the 2021 SPE Fellows. I would like to thank the Injection Molding Division for nominating me for my research and innovation on environment-friendly sustainable plastic materials and their applications, and giving me opportunity to join this exceptional SPE Fellow team. Now I have to thank you to many who actually built my career and to help me to be here. So I would like to thank my process champion, Professor Tom Tong, University of Wisconsin-Madison, who has been my professional colleague, friend, and inspiration since my days at Michigan State University. Also, thank you to Professor Srikant Pilla, Clemson University, who encouraged me to apply for this. This SPE Fellow Award truly comes as a recognition of the work that has been done by my students, postdoctoral fellows, technicians, staffs, and collaborators around the world over the years. It has been a real delight to be able to work with so many talented plastic professionals. I would like to thank my PhD advisor, Professor Vaishnava Singh, India, who introduced me to this wonderful field. I would like to thank 2 important mentors and supervisors in my life, Professor George Hinrichsen, Technical University of Berlin, Germany, and Professor Lawrence T. Drazal of Michigan State University for their kind support and advice in advancing my career in sustainable polymer blends and composites. A heartfelt thanks to my mother, my late father, my family and friends, my teachers and my colleagues whose unconditional love, inspiration, and support helped me to reach this stage. I would like to thank the University of Guelph, my all previous institution, and sponsors and industry partners over the years for supporting my research. Finally, I want to thank my spouse, colleague, and my partner, Professor Amar Mohanty, who is also a long-time plastic personnel and past SPE fellow, who has been my strength, support, and inspiration over 3 decades. In closing, I would like to say that I will continue to support and mentor younger generations to stay motivated in the sustainable plastic materials research field, leading towards a circular economy. Thank you all for this recognition. It is a great honor to receive it from SPE. Thank you.
Thank you for Professor Misra, and congratulations again. And I would like a society to give a round of applause to all new fellows of the society. Thank you. I'd like to move next to the Honor Service Member Award ceremony. Only 347 members, including the current inductees, have received the Honor Service Member recognition since the honor was established in 1992. To be chosen, a candidate must have demonstrated long-term outstanding service to and support of the society and its objectives. As an honored member of the society, it is my pleasure to introduce this year's inductees. Mr. Robert G Weiler, nominated by the Akron Section and Vinyl Plastics Division. Robert earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering at Case Western Reserve University. He began his vinyl plastics career with Diamond Shamrock and Interstab Chemicals, AkzoNobel. He was plant manager at Alside Associated Material. Robert has also served as business manager for PVC heat stabilizers at Across Chemicals. Most recently, Robert is North America sales manager and product line manager for non-halogen flame retardants at Amfine Chemical Corporation. Robert has authored 5 publications on PVC compounding and stabilization and has co-authored several others. He is a past president of the Akron section, past TPC chairman for the vinyl division, and is currently chairman of the vinyl division. Robert also served on the board of Non-Halogen Flame Retardants Special Interest Group. Please welcome Robert Weiler as an honor service member of the society. Robert. We don't have I was talking to Robert just now, and so I guess he doesn't have his camera on. Okay, then I will move on to the next person. He may be having technical difficulties. I'd like to introduce next person, Dr. Adrian Marrington, nominated by the Detroit section. Adrian cannot join us together, but nonetheless, I'm going to read his bio. Adrian Marrington, Bachelor of Science Honors, PhD, Master of Rehabilitation Science, Chartered Chemist, Chartered Scientist, has a passion for education and research, particularly in the areas of plastics, recycling, and plastic sustainability. He is a business quality leader at Trinsil with responsibility for compounds and blends and part of the company's sustainability closed loop initiative. He has been principal investigator on a number of projects, the author of numerous papers and presentations, and has written 4 book chapters. He is also, for reasons he is still not entirely clear about, listed in the Who is Who in Plastics and Polymers. He has been a member of SPE since 1994 and has been active in both the Detroit section and the Recycling Division boards. He is past president on both Detroit section and the former Mid-Michigan Division's boards. He is past president division boards, being amongst those members instrumental in the merger of the two. He has been consular and technical chair for the Recycling Division. He was the 2010 Sustainability Division Outstanding Member and the Detroit Section 2017 Outstanding Member. He has served as the international level of the Sections Committee, and his vocational interests include football, soccer, where he has been a coach since 2004 and a referee since 2018, Football American, where he was a former college player and now avid watcher, photography, and travel. He is galvanized by the support of his wife, Leanne, and boys, Ian and Lucas. Please welcome Dr. Adrian Marrington as an honor service member of the society. Robert, I see you solved your technical difficulties, so please address the society.
Yes, it just appeared. So, so think back to the previous bio, and I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank SPE for the recognition. I am truly honored. I'd like to thank the Akron section, the board of directors for nominating me, and in particular Keith Pelfrey there for forwarding my nomination. And I'd like to thank the vinyl division and their board for their nomination as well, including especially Emily McBride and Peggy Shipper for letters of recognition. I first joined the SPE in 1976. Don't do the math; it's probably before many of you were born. So, I attended my first made my first presentation in 1979. And why I say that is the opportunity to present at a conference, a presentation, really developed my critical thinking and my ability to look at technology and my work in a different way and develop my thoughts. It gave me a chance to associate with my peers and then to meet some new mentors and quite frankly, some heroes in the industry. I have been in awe of the legends who founded the SPE and who have led the plastics industry, in particular the vinyl industry. And so my opportunity to then continue with SPE, work on the different divisions and sections I have been, has just been a way to pay back what I received from these people. And my goal is to leave the SPE better than I found it, if possible, and to make sure that there are leaders following who can take over after I have continued. The recognition for honored service member, unlike the fellow, which is a recognition for work a single person has done, honored service member only happens by working with others, with teams, and it's from everybody's effort that I am recognized. So I appreciate this very much, and thank you all for this great honor I've received.
Thank you, Robert, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
And thank you to both, also to Adrian, who couldn't make it. I'd like to move on to the next section of this ceremony, to the President's Cup. Now, here is something that I've been savoring for a long time. As president, it is my privilege to especially honor one person with the SPE's President Cup, the most prestigious award the society bestows on someone. The cup was first awarded by Peter Simmons in 1958 and continues to be awarded each year by the President for outstanding and meritorious service to our society. One of the honors, and perhaps the best honors of holding this office, is the awarding of this cup. This honor is decided solely by the President. The tradition is to introduce the applicant with a series of clues. So the tradition also is that you will try to guess who this person is. And of course, we're not together, so the rumoring and innuendos as to who could be and all this, we're not going to be privy of, but you could be doing your bettings at home. So one thing that you didn't know about me is that I like poetry very much. And so here we go, SPE's President's Cup 2021. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. An ode to a winner has just begun. The President's Cup is presented now. Let's find out the deserving one. Before commencing, I must define the fuss this trophy is all about. A simple prize. That's not the case. The President's Cup has got the clout. A story, mates, I'm going to tell you. It all started when I was born. The President's Cup has honored the best, the alive and present, and those we mourn. 62 conquerors altogether, 2 years with no champs, a few étrangers, and 4 women, some all the winners in this camp. Fran Martin was the first. Brian Grady received the last. Who's going to get it now? It's a question you may ask. Every year around this time, we get together to celebrate. The trophy awaits a deserving person, The clues will tell you who is the mate. Fast forward to the future, a tradition with a spinner. It's my task to give you clues. It's yours to guess the winner. A crossword puzzle brings you the first clue. Horizontal or verticals, the letters twist. The Sunday paper is such a job. My friend, the winner, cannot resist. But let's begin when all started. A young apprentice of much about. He was the explorer of many trades until those plastics showed up in town. Study hard, said the uncle loud. One day, my dear, you'll be a professor. A summa cum laude will make us proud, or you will end up a plastics processor. A bird migrates to new geographies, looking for beginnings in foreign lands. The new country made him a citizen. The city of angels gave welcome hands. For money and knowledge and entertainment too, a California job was much desired. He looked around and promptly found a single task, but quite admired. An engineer must learn the basics: pressure, volume, force, and torque. In winemaking, you do not need them. You look and taste and learn to cork. It's time for college and on with life. A new horizon awaits afar. He drove cross country into his future, destiny waiting for the newest star. So heading northeast to search for wisdom, to a city that hosts the best, first day orientation and new classmates, and voila, he was much blessed. To propose, engage, and declare one's love, a romantic setting is quite a thought. 10 years later, over street tacos, he got engaged and tied the knot. Au revoir, merci, and désolé, he learned in class and in his youth, words that mean a lot to the French and those inspired to seek the truth. Every Sunday into the library, his 3 kids he brought in tow. You need to learn history and culture, he said to them, rain, shine, or snow. Great kids have not met. Great kids we have not met. They all excel in what they do. A swimmer, a goalie, and a ballroom dancer make Papa proud and Mama too. James Howell's proverb gives us a clue. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. To win the cup, you must work hard, volunteer hours, and be a joy. An avid golfer, the winner is, slide and hook his common shots. A broken pair of expensive clubs reveal loudly who is the chap. The Queen's Gambit, for all who know, a recent movie and one more clue, with knights and rooks and dancing bishops, he's such a loser, that says it's true. Like loaf of bread that's rising fast, even those that are made with bran, he tries and bakes recipes galore. My friend, the winner, is such a fan. If you're in plastics, you must advance, reuse, reduce, and recycle too. He walks the talk and gives example. To love the environment, another clue. About plastics and sustainability, very recently, he wrote a book, another accomplishment to his collection, a fine write-up that's worth a look. By now, he knows he's made the winner, and it's possible you have a hunch. Make the road rise up to meet you, says the Irish proverb with final punch. And so, my friends, my final act, it's been an honor to serve this year. The Cubs winner is Connor Carlin, my friend, a Irlandese, and my peer.
I am absolutely gobsmacked. I mean, so much so that I was multitasking when you first came over and started the. Oh, that's why you're interrupting me.
What, you think
I thought I was just being interrupted by my child.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Leo.
This is fantastic. Thank you, Leo.
Anytime.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. I mean, thank you very much. Like I said, I was only half paying attention when you started the poem, thinking that there's so many people that are deserving of this. But, this is fantastic, though. Thank you very much. And really, your friendship and all of our jokes and Spanish translations and football talk and late nights and long texts. It's been a great year despite all the challenges. So thank you very much. I'm not sure if I just leave it at that, or if there's any other limericks that I need to come up with while remaining PG for the rest of the group.
No, this is good. Whatever you want to say. I want to thank Sandra, your wife, for being such a great accomplice.
That's why she said she wanted to interrupt me. Okay, it's all coming together now. Very sneaky.
So it was hard to compose the poem, I can tell you, because halfway through you already knew that it was you. It was impossible not to have doubts when you tied the knot over the street tacos. I mean, that was obvious to me. So
that was a good one. Yeah, the golf bit kind of caught me. I said, well, what is that? That can't be like leaning in my direction, can it? But
well, it did the trick. So congratulations.
Awesome.
Connor.
Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody else too. It's a shame that we can't be together for this, to the fellows as well. Congratulations. I mean, these guys have put in, decades and decades of work in their careers. So it's great to be at least part of the same ceremony with these guys. And I look forward to seeing everybody live soon.
And I want to thank also your father, who I have not met. There was a special verse, dedicated to him, because according to him, you cannot beat him in chess. So
okay. Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'd like to move into the end of my term. And so I'd like to address the society with that. Dear SPE members, friends, acquaintances, colleagues. 8 years ago, past President John Raslav appointed me to the board of directors for a 1-year term. Who would have thought that it would take the society 8 years to get rid of me? That time at Antec 2013 in Cincinnati, in my way to a restaurant, I was asked if I was ever going to run for president, which I remember answering, I'm not ready. And past President Jim Griffin, who was with me, said, that's the right answer. You see, reflecting back into the past, it takes years to be ready. This is not a position you parachute in. It is a position that you develop with incredible hours of volunteering and service. To those of you who have written me this year asking for advice on how to get a position with one of the boards, I have a message for you. Volunteerism is not about earning bars in a military uniform. It is not about putting together in a CV that you belong to a board of this or that. In short, volunteerism is not about you. It is about the work you do for others. And so my message to all of you who wrote is simple. Just get involved and be prepared to put countless hours to advance programs that benefit all. If you do so, you will be noticed, and in short time, you will be asked to serve at a board, be of a chapter, or be of the entire society. We started a transformation process in December of 2017 at a board meeting in White Plains, New York. Here we are 4 years later, and there are still plenty of things to do, to change, to modernize, to add, so we can enjoy a more dynamic and thriving society. Make no mistake about it. The chains and anchors of the past still hold us and slow us down in many ways. 2 years ago, I was very excited when enough of you trusted me to continue this transformation process. A year of preparation and heavy involvement, I may say, as president-elect ensued. As president-elect, we made plans for using my international connections to cement SPE in few other regions of the world and to create new programs and services for the association. But like Dr. Spencer Johnson, the author of the famous book, who would have said, someone moved my cheese? So who would have thought that my entire travel budget went untouched? It is impossible not to recognize that this has been a very difficult year for everyone. All our board meetings and strategic planning sessions did not include how to deal with a pandemic. Lost lives of people dear to us, businesses that have collapsed, people enduring great hardships. Individually, we all have had very difficult challenges this past 18 months. But if there was a shiny star in the sky, it was SPE. With only days, if not hours, to make a crucial decision about Antec 2020 in San Antonio, SPE showed why it is a great organization. Through teamwork and a couple of phone calls, we learned quickly of the new situation, adapted to the circumstances, and were able to pull off not just San Antonio, but also Denver this year. And we were able to produce 2 Antecs with great results. There are many accomplishments to list by the chapters, by volunteers, by the staff, and by the volunteer leaders. So in my final words as president, I want to thank you all. It is you, the members, who make this association great. I want to thank Pat and his staff members for supporting and implementing the directions and strategies that the board of directors set. Special thanks to Sue and Kathy, who have been my friends and accomplices for many years. Thanks also to Michael, Pedro, Ryan, Christina, Kim, Chris, Deborah, Scott, Kristen, and Deb for helping with the implementation. Special recognition to Eve and all the work she does with the foundation, and to the Plastivan educators who make plastics be a joy for the new generations. Julie, Katie, Anne, John Paul, Elizabeth, John, Mandy, Paige, Linda, Brianna, Ivan, and Mark. Now let me turn to my peers, colleagues, and friends. I want to especially thank those who served in the board of directors during my term. I am indebted to you. You shine with your professionalism and dedication during this unprecedented year. Even though we had to change the treasurer at mid-year, Jay stepped in knowing what to do and what to say. Lindsay, Ray, Scott, Connor, Brian, Gustavo, Jay, Bruce, and Jason, thank you. Without you, it would have been impossible to steer SPE. It is through the many, many hours of volunteerism, dedication, and selfishness and love for SPE that we were able to work together in what has been, without a doubt, one of the most difficult and challenging years to the association. It is my turn to pass on the baton to Dr. Jason Lyons, who, no doubt, will continue to implement the changes SPE requires to adopt so SPE becomes a sustainable organization that will last another 80 years or more. Jason and I have been working together for more than 4 years now when we began the process to look for the modernization and alternatives to Antec. He is direct, he is intense, he is full of ideas. I'm sure SPE will move to great levels under your leadership, Jason. Next year, as immediate past president, I look forward to help organize our 80th anniversary party. Yes, don't forget that. We're getting old. And finally see many friends face to face. With these words, I end my presidency. Thank you to you all.
You're supposed to give me my pin now, Jaime. I'll just assume that he gave it to me.
Well, we had a little issue, which is that you don't have anybody there to do it. But with this, I am basically putting the pin on.
I'll get really close. I'll get really close.
There.
Oh, and magic happens, Jaime. That's amazing. The power of technology. And so, Jaime, it is my pleasure to present you with the past president's pin as you become a distinguished member of SPE. So I'm going to go back to you and give it to you so it goes onto your lapel. There Fantastic. So everyone, I words can't really describe the year that we just endured. And so when I struggled for words, I wanted to reach out to a couple of you to give me some to talk about Jaime. Jaime is not necessarily one that is braggadocious, and so I'm going to do that for him. And so many of you, these words come from you. Number one, passionate, personable, sincere, kind, courteous, extremely high energy, loving. And the one that I really wanted to focus on that was given to me by more people than any other one is commitment. And so when we think about what commitment is, I really wanted to dive into Jaime's commitments, not only to the profession of plastics, but to SP in general. So with the help of our fantastic staff, I had them do a little bit of research for me. And so while not as old as Bob Weiler, Jaime joined in 1987. So Bob, he's coming for you, be careful. where he was pursuing his PhD at the University of Connecticut. So even as a graduate student, he realized and valued the membership within SPE. While there, he was the student chapter president for 2 terms. And so if anyone has ever been the president of any organization, you know after year 1, you're ready to hang up the bootstraps, but Jaime was willing to put them on and go back for year 2. After he came into the work world, he became heavily involved with the extrusion division. He was on their board of directors for 6 years. And I think one of his lasting legacies that is often, I don't know if it's truly accredited to him, is the creation of the Next Generation Advisory Board. Jaime's passion and dedication and willingness to act as a mentor to those that are up and coming is par excellence. It's at a level that I can't really even understand and prepared to describe. And with that, it related to him getting the Excellence in Mentoring Award in 2017. And also, Jaime is a recipient of the award that he just gave away, the President's Cup, in 2014. In his role with the board of directors of SPE, I think he's been the journeyman. He mentioned that 8 years ago he started this process, and if I'm looking at my notes correctly, he was secretary. I'm sorry and thankful at the same time that you had to endure that as well. Treasurer, the VP of Marketing and Communications, the VP of Events, President-elect, and now culminating as president. Also, if you've been to an Antec and you have participated in the plastics race, that is Jaime's brainchild, and so he's contributed not only in the boardroom, but to all of us that have wanted to make a difference and have some fun while doing it in the world of plastics. So Jaime, for everything that you've done for the society, everything that you've done in your 30-plus illustrious career for the world of plastics, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. We all thank you on behalf of the board of directors, and we are happy and thankful that you will still be around for yet another year so that we can bounce ideas off you and take advantage of your leadership moving forward. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jason. And as always happens when you're working in the microwave world, is that things get out of order. You know, cameras don't work, microphones don't work. And I forgot to give you this that I'm supposed to pass on to you. So, you know, here's your gavel as president. You know, you can take.
Thank you very much, Jaime. I sincerely appreciate it. So with that, everyone that's online, thank you. It's my job to bring us home. It is my honor to stand before all of you as SPE's 80th president. It's a big number to kind of wrap your head around, and it is one of the greatest honors in my professional career to be part of that. A lot has changed since Fred Conley assumed the mantle in 1942, and I think that we all can safely agree with that. We've tried to make a lot of changes that will help the society evolve and perhaps regain some prominence with those individuals, institutions, or corporations that may view our society as perhaps antiquated or out of touch. I strongly feel that we're positioned for growth based on the leadership of the executive boards that have come before me. I'd like to extend special thanks to Scott Owens, Raed Al-Zubi, Brian Grady, Brian Landis, and most recently Jaime Gomez, all of whom I've had the pleasure to serve with. I will strive to keep the positive momentum alive, which all of you have embraced and continue to push forward. At this time, I'd also be very remiss if I didn't acknowledge our wonderful staff at this point in time. Thank you to Jaime for naming them each by name. I'm in the position to see the effort that this group of people puts together, and trust me when I tell you it's nothing short of heroic. And the hours 9 to 5 simply don't apply to our staff. They're dealing with people around the world, they're dealing with people in multiple time zones, and I'm frequently getting emails and phone calls and texts at all hours of the day. So when you see them, I'd encourage you to give them a note of gratitude and thank them for all that they do for the benefit of our chapters and of our society. I feel that many on this call may be familiar with me, but there may be some that don't really know who I am, and I haven't yet to have the privilege of meeting you. So I want to go into a little bit of a deeper dive. As Jaime noted, when dealing with me, what you see is what you get. Love, truth, and honor are my guiding principles, and while we may not always agree, I'll always respect your opinion and always have a mutual discussion so that we can hopefully find a mutually agreeable solution. I strongly feel that iron always sharpens iron. I'm born and bred Pennsylvanian. I grew up right outside of Scranton, first made famous by The Office, and now more recently by Joe Biden. And my high school class only had 128 people in it. My uncle was a dairy farmer, and for punishment on the weekends, when my mom was upset with me, I had to go milk the cows at 4 o'clock in the morning. And 25 years ago, I followed my high school sweetheart to college in Philadelphia, and much to the displeasure of my parents, I simply never left. I am one of a handful of people that I know of with a degree in textile engineering, and because I didn't want to get married to the aforementioned girlfriend, I went on to get my PhD in materials engineering. Fast forward to today, and I'm lucky to be married to someone that is so far out of my league that I have to pinch myself to remind me that she's real. And everyone on staff and on the executive board has yet to meet her, so I'm pretty sure they think she's all fake. Together, we've had 2 beautiful children, Chloe and Gavin, and they are a large part of why I'm heavily involved in SPE, and I will touch on that more in a little bit. Professionally, I started out doing a postdoc with Dreams of Academia, and I was an adjunct professor for 3 years. It was during this time that I realized that this was not my calling, so much respect to all those that are in that field. And I decided to move to the industrial world. I've been with Arkema for 15 years, and I've held a variety of roles in both R&D leadership, and now I sit on the commercial side of the fence for our aerospace business. What's important about this is that this combination of experience has given me a lot of appreciation for innovation, but only as such as we can profit from it. If I go back to my introduction with SPE, I want to send a special shout out to Dr. Tom Tordowsky. I don't know if he's on the phone, but he was running the student chapter at Drexel University when I was there in graduate school. And unbeknownst to him, he lit a passion and a fire inside me that continues to burn brightly today. It was through him that I was first exposed to Antec, which I felt then and still do today has the power to revolutionize the world of plastics. That being said, like many student members, I drifted away from SPE for several years upon graduation before I re-engaged in 2007. And my re-engagement was selfish. I became re-involved with SPE because I was told that if I wanted to rise the corporate ladder, I had to have exposure and credibility outside of the walls of my firm. So what did I do? I went to Antec in 2007, and as someone that was young and trying to save on the company's budget, I went to an EPSTIV TPC luncheon. And the reason I went there is because they were giving away a free lunch. So I went, and much to my displeasure, my highly vocal colleague said, "Jason's here to help and he'll do whatever you want." And with that, the words, "there's no such thing as a free lunch," came to fruition. And I ended up eventually being appointed as a director on the board of directors and subsequently to chair, in which we won our first Gold Pinnacle Award. It was during this time where I realized that SPE was capable of so much more than the products that were being offered. And I wanted to be part of the solution. I realized that what had begun as a selfish involvement on my end actually had given me so much more in return. And I felt compelled to share this with others so that they too can benefit as I had. When they say careful what you wish for, I can attest to this, it's true. Because when sitting in my office one day, I received a phone call from Scott Owens, and then Raid El-Zubi, and then Pat Ferry. And I was convinced that they all had the wrong number because I had never heard of any of these gentlemen previously, but they were all of a sudden talking to me about being appointed to the board for a leadership position. I listened to what they had to say, I had conversations, and one of the things that Pat can tell you is true is that I said, "I'll give you a year, and if we can move in a positive direction that's moving closer to the value that I see, I will continue to serve." And here I am today, several years later. So with that, it brings me to today, which begs the question of why am I here, and why are you here, and why are all of us spending away time from work and family? And for me, it's simple, and it goes back to my children. It's to protect the industry that I feel is vital for their future. I want them to learn to value our industry, value the sustainability that we bring to the world, and be proud of the work that their father is doing. I no longer want them to come home to the question of, "Daddy, why do you work in an industry that's killing our planet?" as has happened in the last year. Many in society lacking information are quick to judge our industry and condemn it. We're fighting an uphill battle with what appears to be no end in sight. And it will be up to us and other organizations in our industry to come together to educate and to be the foundation that is change for the plastics industry moving forward. So how do we accomplish this? I was recently interviewed about this role, and I made the comment that SPE has a Lamborghini parked in our garage, but we seem too afraid to drive it. Perhaps it's a paddle shifting that's confusing, or simply the fact that it looks too good, yet it sits in there and we hesitate to do anything differently. My primary goal as president is to get in the car and drive. We may get a ticket, we may even get in an accident, but we'll continue to learn and better prepare for the future. For me, I equate driving to creating new avenues of revenue generation. Opportunities that are going to provide each of you on this call value far into our future, and you guys are our most important stakeholders. We must be cognizant that how we conduct business and how we conduct research has significantly changed. It has been changing for quite some time, but if COVID did anything, it really hammered home the fact that everything is different. It showed us we can't simply depend on one or two programs to carry us through, because in the flip of a dime, everything can be turned on its head. So today there's a new wave of employees that are taking their axes to the silos that were built in the past. Difficult conversations are finally being welcomed, and for the first time in my memory, topics like diversity and inclusion are rising to the forefront, with an appreciation that only when all voices are heard can we prepare for a better tomorrow. Today, research is highly, highly collaborative. There are people from multiple technical disciplines that are joining hands to tackle significant problems facing our planets. Large companies are focusing on topics like lightweighting, renewable energy, clean water, just to name a few. And I don't want to pick on one or two divisions, but rarely is the solution to any one of these problems going to be a new extrusion line. But the solution very well could be a new extrusion line that is processing a new polymer into a bioabsorbable membrane that utilizes newly developed additives that aid in sustainability that have been vigorously tested through a variety of analytical methods. And the beauty, the absolute beauty of SPE is that we have access to all of these groups of people, and we have the ability to put them in the same room. The opportunities are truly endless if we simply learn how to properly harness them. So what does harnessing look like? We can think of potentially target conferences aimed at tackling the most pressing issues of the day. We can think of the wave of retirement that's coming and offering multidisciplinary and training for these companies. We can envision ways of playing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon to make connections within our industry, because these connections will ultimately lead to collaboration, and collaboration is how we're going to solve the problems. I just wanted to give you a quick example. This happened personally to me. I was speaking with a potential volunteer for board leadership, and this person ended up telling me that they were really excited about the automotive division and they wanted to be introduced. So not knowing anyone in that division off the top of my head, I reached out to our wonderful staff and they gave me a contact. When I looked at that contact, I noticed that the email was @Ford.com. I immediately thought of my own product line and said, wow, I would love to be able to meet someone at Ford that I can talk to. And so when I was making the connection between those two, I quietly asked, do you mind if I have a separate meeting of 30 minutes where I can talk about my portfolio and how it may benefit your company? The answer to that was sure. And so when I went back to my colleagues and I went into preparation mode for that meeting, I came to find out that there was several people, especially one within my firm, that was trying to get an audience with this member from Ford for over a year. And I said, hey, well, why don't you tag along and get introduced? I can help you do that. And so all of a sudden, everyone was happy. And I did this in the presence of senior leadership in my company. So with that, my company now has a larger buy-in. The person that I touched has subsequently become a member. And I did all of this for $135, or the value of our membership. And I would submit to all of you that that interaction is worth substantially more than $135. And so we need to have other people within the society realize the network that we have as plastic professionals, and more importantly, how to access it. And so again, going back to my Lamborghini analogy, perhaps people just need to be shown where the keys are located and they're willing to get in and drive. There's a lot that I hope to accomplish this year, but it's impossible for any one person, any one board alone to do that. I like to view SPE as a composite, and in doing so, the whole is stronger than any one of its constituents. And we all must embrace a society with the idea that a rising tide will raise all ships. I encourage all of you to reach out to others in the society, make new friends, go where you're not comfortable in different divisions, reach out to me, reach out to staff asking for those introductions. I can promise you that it will change how you view the world of plastics and your ability to perform in it. If we do that and we're successful, we can regain the prominence of SPE and we can truly cement the importance of the plastics industry in the year ahead. So with that, I wanted to thank you for your vote of confidence in my leadership, and I will preemptively thank each and every one of you for all that you will do over the next year to make SPE the best version of itself. So thank you very much. At this point in time, I have the honor and privilege of introducing our 2021 and 2022 executive board members. So first, you've seen him plenty tonight as past president. We have Jaime Gomez. I see he's on the screen, so he can wave. President-elect Bruce Mulholland, and going back another story about Bruce, and he may not remember this, but way back in the day, I was in additives, and we created an additive that was able to dull the appearance of plastics when it put in it. I remember going up to Bruce at a conference and saying, "You're the guy that I need to talk to." So I don't know if I ever told you that, Bruce, but I'm glad that you're on the board, and I'm glad that you're our president-elect. We have Vice President of Business Finance, Jay Waddell. I believe Jay, if he's not on the call, Jay is still in Africa on a safari. And so what this has told us that if you want to do anything, be a consultant in the world of plastics, and then you can end up in safaris in Alaska. We have the VP of Sustainability and recent President Cups Award winner, Connor Carlin. Connor, take a bow. Connor's my wine buddy. We go into Vice President of Professional Development. I don't know if he is on the call tonight, but Pavan Valavala is going to be in that role. I do not see him online. Vice President at Large, replacing Gustavo Litsky for his wonderful service, is Paul Martin. Paul, I see online. Vice President of Chapters, and someone that all of you are intimately familiar with, my brother from another mother, so Scott Eastman is on. As a shameless plug, we will be having Plastics in Aerospace 2. So if you're interested in presenting, please reach out to Scott or myself. We have the Vice President of Publications. Pennsylvania is dominating here today. We have Ray Pearson. And then Vice President of Membership Engagement and newest mother of now 4, again, hailing from 3. I'm putting more in you than you need to. I'm sorry, Lindsay. So again, hailing from Pennsylvania, we have Lindsay Neville. And then he is not online, but he is the glue that holds this group of people together. And we thank him for his leadership and his vision. And that would be our CEO, Pat Ferry. So before we head off into closing, and we are going to have some more networking opportunities, I would again recommend you. It's easy to sit at a table where you know everyone. It's more fun to sit at a table where you know no one. And I promise you're going to get a lot more from that table than you were anywhere else. So I want to thank all of you for your attendance and your participation this evening. I also want to extend a special congratulations to all of our fellows, all of our HSMs, and Connor, our President's Cup winner. Your passion and dedication to our industry is commendable, and it's actually an inspiration for all of us. Our society is indeed better, and our industry is indeed better because you guys are a part of it. And knocking on wood, I feel that we can safely say that COVID is behind us. And at times, many of us struggled, and we had to relearn how to perform our jobs in remote environments. That struggle was real, and it's made us stronger, and it's given us a clearer lens regarding what is important to the plastics professional, all of us. To paraphrase one of my heroes, I always like to end my talks with a historical quote: "The best way to assure our future is to create it." And I look forward to creating our future and making it brilliant and beautiful and bright with all of your help. So thank you, everyone, and I look forward to sitting with you in the networking session. Thank you very much.